In our last video, we showed you how to get to Elizabeth Farm from Parramatta Square by light rail. After getting off at Rob and Thomas Station, it's only a short walk. And before you know it, Elizabeth Farm is right in front of us. Today is Friday, and something we didn't expect, entry is free on Fridays and Saturdays. So with that pleasant surprise, let's head inside. We begin our visit here at the main entrance, stepping into the visitor centre, which is housed within this bright, greenhouse-style structure. Both inside and out, the space immediately feels open and welcoming. The greenhouse design creates a seamless connection between the interior and the surrounding garden, with glass walls and high ceilings allowing natural light to fill the space. Along the walls, photographs and historical images provide a visual glimpse into the property's past. At the reception desk, we are warmly greeted by the staff. That friendly welcome immediately sets a relaxed and inviting tone for the visit. We are given a digital visual and audio guide, along with a map of the site. This self-guided format allows visitors to explore at their own pace, listening to stories and explanations while moving through the house and gardens. Walking out from the other side of the visitor centre, we officially begin our journey here at Elizabeth Farm. The story of Elizabeth Farm, a property that dates back to 1793, closely connected to the Macarthur family and the early colonial history of Parramatta. You might notice the MH signage throughout the site. It stands for Museums of History New South Wales, which manages Elizabeth Farm, along with many of the state's most important historic houses, museums, and heritage sites. As we step onto the grounds, it's worth remembering that Elizabeth Farm began in 1793, when John and Elizabeth Macarthur started building what would become Australia's oldest surviving European homestead. This place isn't just a house, it's a living piece of early colonial history. As we approach the house, the first thing you notice is how modest it appears. Especially by modern standards, a single-story home with wide, shady verandas and weathered sandstone underfoot. Originally a simple brick cottage, the farmhouse was transformed by the late 1820s into this bungalow-style homestead, blending practicality with colonial elegance. As we step inside the house, the atmosphere immediately shifts. Deep windows let in soft natural light, wooden floors carry the marks of time, and the period furnishings offer a quiet glimpse into everyday life for the Macarthur family. Reproduction furniture and carefully arranged objects bring the space to life, creating an atmosphere that feels intimate rather than staged. In some rooms, objects like a grand piano or writing desk hint at both the family's social standing and their domestic routines. As we continue walking, the spaces gradually shift from comfort to practicality. It becomes clear that Elizabeth Farm was never just a private residence. It was a working estate, supported by servants and, in its early years, convict labour. Every corner of the house reflects the rhythms of work that kept the property running. Areas connected to service work, including the dairy and laundry, reveal the layered social structure of colonial life, shaped by labour and hierarchy. Walking through these spaces gives a fuller picture of the many people who lived and worked here, often unseen, yet essential to the daily life of the farm. We are now in the kitchen, a space that truly reveals the heart of domestic life in colonial times. A large stone hearth anchors the room, surrounded by heavy copper pots, simple shelving, and worn work surfaces. This would have been a place of constant activity, from early morning through to nightfall. Standing here, the contrast with modern kitchens is impossible to ignore. Every task required physical effort, chopping wood, hauling water, and preparing food without modern tools. It's a powerful reminder of how much labor went into even the simplest daily routines. What's especially striking is just how close you're allowed to get. Unlike many historic houses, there are no ropes or barriers separating you from the space. You can approach the furniture, sit down, and imagine daily life as it once was. It's a deeply personal way of experiencing history, rather than observing it from a distance. Stepping back outside, the mood changes once again. Wide verandas open directly onto the gardens, blurring the line between indoor and outdoor living. This climate-responsive design would later influence homestead architecture across Australia. As we continue strolling, it's worth reflecting on the people behind this place. John Macarthur was not only a landowner, but a key figure in the early wool industry, importing merino sheep and helping shape an economy that would define Australia for generations. His wife, Elizabeth, played an equally vital role, managing the estate during his long absences. Let's head back inside and take a look at the bedrooms. Moving further into the house, the bedrooms offer a quieter, more personal perspective. Some feel light and airy, while others are deeper and more shadowed, reflecting different chapters of family life. These rooms suggest moments of rest, illness, celebration, and hardship, reminding us that this was, above all else, a home lived in over many decades. Down here in the basement, we are looking at what would have been the cellar. Barrels stored food and drink in the coolest part of the house, long before refrigeration, quietly supporting life above. Wandering along the gravel paths, we are surrounded by plantings inspired by European species, with shaded seating areas and old trees standing as living witnesses to generations who passed through here. We've now returned to the main entrance and the visitor center, but our journey isn't finished yet. Let's continue exploring the outdoor areas. The gardens surrounding Elizabeth Farm are far more than a scenic backdrop. They've been carefully recreated to reflect how the grounds may have looked in the 1830s, when the farm was at its peak. This house has witnessed ambition and conflict, success and struggle. Standing here, surrounded by walls, gardens, and trees shaped by centuries of change, you can almost feel those stories lingering. Today, Elizabeth Farm is more than a preserved historic building. It's a place that invites reflection on how settlement reshaped the landscape, how it affected First Nations people, and how these early lives helped shape modern Australia. After exploring the house and gardens, many visitors choose to pause. Perhaps at the tea rooms or beneath the trees, taking a moment to rest and reflect. It feels like a natural way to end the visit, allowing past and present to settle together. As our journey through Elizabeth Farm comes to a close, what stays with us is how ordinary life and extraordinary history coexist here. From worn floorboards and weathered verandas to ancient trees that still cast their shade. This place invites us not just to observe history, but to walk alongside it. Thank you for joining us on this journey. We'll see you at our next destination.